Hey there, and welcome back. This is Carrie with the Gilded Bubble, and today I'm going to be remaking my Honeysuckle Swirl soap. I've made this one before, but I decided to redesign it, and I'm going to be using these colors. This is Evergreen Mica from Brambleberry. I'm also going to use King Tut from Mad Micas and Lemon Cupcake, also from Mad Micas. And for my fragrance, I'm actually using my all-time favorite fragrance. This is Honeysuckle from Virginia Candle Supply. I got it on Amazon, and I have to tell you, this is the best honeysuckle scent I have ever smelled in my life. Smells like actual honeysuckle blooming on the bush. Love, love, love it. So I'm going to add my lye water solution here to my oils, and you may have noticed I'm doing voiceover today. That's because when I filmed this, I was too damn tired to bother with narrating what I was doing. So that means you don't have to listen to the mixer here as I blend these together. But I'm doing a drop swirl, so my plan here is to take this just to emulsion. But as you'll see, I'm not thrilled with how this one turned out. It's beautiful soap, but not exactly what I was looking for. And I think my problem was not so much the consistency of the batter, but the potency of the colors that I used. Fragrance is gorgeous. The colors actually turned out really nice. I thought they were really reminiscent of honeysuckle itself, but they're a little paler than I normally like. My thing with soaps is I love bright colors. Like I feel like if you're going to go with natural soap, if you're going to go with handmade soap, it has to be worth paying for what you want. And I think that for me, the bright colors make it fun, and make it to where you could buy natural soap anywhere, and it's going to be good, and it's going to be good for your skin, and it's going to be more gentle and still cleansing, better than a mass produced bar. However, if you're using all natural ingredients and all natural colorants, nothing wrong with that. There are people out there that make beautiful, colorful soaps. But your colors, it's harder to get them really, really bright. And I just love, love, love bright colors. And I think these just came out a little more muted than I wanted. But, some people are going to love that. And I know that this scent is a good seller for me. And I personally love it. So if it doesn't sell, I'll just use it myself. But as you can see, I'm kind of measuring this out here because what I want to do is do a base of white with titanium dioxide. And that's going to require me to split my batter. And I'm getting better at doing math for this, being a little neater. But I haven't actually, this is the last soap I think I filmed for a while. I might have one more. But when I filmed this, you can see here I'm using a tablecloth. I was in my kitchen. And I was constantly worried about ruining my relatively new kitchen countertops. And I had this ugly tablecloth that, well, actually, it's not that ugly, but it doesn't look great on camera, that kept getting in my way. And I've since moved into a studio that's actually just a spare bedroom in my house that was my office, and I've now converted it into an office/soaping studio. And so the next thing that you see me, next thing that I film is going to be in that studio, but I haven't set up my filming apparatus yet. And the only reason I'm able to do this is I've already got a computer up here, and I had a microphone back from my podcasting days, so I can actually sit down and do this. But here I'm adding my fragrance oil, and again, if you are looking for a honeysuckle scent, whether you're a soap maker or just someone interested in buying natural soap, this is a great, great scent. If you're buying, it's relatively inexpensive. I bought it on a whim thinking this might be a good one. I had good reviews. I just love it. It does not accelerate trace. It does not rice, at least with my recipe. Obviously, all recipes are a little bit different, but as an end result, it really retains its fragrance well in cold process, and I know sometimes that can be an issue. And I think, because it doesn't accelerate, like I'm using this here with titanium dioxide, which does accelerate, then you get a batter that performs really well. And you don't have to worry about it when you're trying to do a swirl. So what I'm going to do here is put the white as my base color. I love a drop swirl that's partially white all the way through and then has drops of color. This one didn't go as deep as I wanted, and that happened as a result of me letting my bottom layer set up just a smidge too much. But it still does a pretty swirl. It still turned out pretty. And again, like I said, it is reminiscent of an actual honeysuckle bush with the white flowers, with the golden and yellow, accent colors on it. I think that's from the pollen and the stamen and everything. And then the green of the leaves. I just thought it really, really reminded me of that white honeysuckle that you see. And I don't know. I just, again, I think if I do this design again, I may play with my honeysuckle design a little bit more. I'll try to throw a picture in here of my original two honeysuckle soaps, and one of them I loved, but I think I could do a better scent for that design because it was a mountainous looking thing. I'll throw that in here. And I think that the second one I did was a really pretty Taiwan swirl, but it's just a little too much effort for something that's going to be a good seller for me. And since I've already sold through 2 batches of this soap, I figured I ought to get something that's a little more quicker to do. It's not necessarily a simple design. Certainly, I love a drop swirl. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous design. But in this instance, I just wanted something that would, be quicker for me to make so that I can have some on hand all the time. And honeysuckle is one of those scents for me that I love jasmine. I love, I love plumeria. I love honeysuckle. I love lilac. All of those really sweet florals I love. And so for me, it's a scent that kind of takes me back to childhood. I lived most of my life in Florida. And I grew up in Illinois, and my school, when I lived in Illinois, had beautiful lilac bushes growing along the border of it. And in the spring, I just remember the smell of them blooming. And so suddenly I'm reminded of that smell. And then when we lived in Florida, the house I lived in high school had night blooming jasmine. That is just, if you live in the South, you know this smell. Everyone has these bushes growing along their fences, and the smell is very much like honeysuckle. And so it reminds me quite a bit. And you'll see here. Okay, here's a moment where Carrie panicked because her white had set up too much. And I started to do this and then thought, oh shit, what did I do? Actually, this part of the soap is what turned out the best, and I wish I would have done more of this swirling in the mold. But I went ahead and poured it and went, oh crap, and I knew my other two colors would swirl into that gold. But actually that's the lemon cupcake at Color Morphs, but I panicked and stirred it, and now I'm thinking I might actually use that technique in the future. But this just goes to show you that, you could be a new soaper, you could be an intermediate or an advanced soaper, and you're still going to have, so there I bumped the pot, and you're going to have soap that misbehaves, or that doesn't do what you want it to do, or you forget to do something. Today I'm making a soap where I was trying to use an orange blossom scent, and in my first layer I accidentally put in peach scent, so I hope they go together because that's what's going to happen. So it's called soaping brain, something like that, and you just never know what you're going to do with yourself when that happens. So here I am trying to salvage this soap as best I can. This poor drop swirl of mine. But like I said, that part where I mixed through the white layer with my spatula is actually what turned out the best in this soap. And you'll see when I cut it, I had a few spots that were just stunning. But yeah, as I was saying, this is why I love the smell of honeysuckle. It has to do with my love of lilac and jasmine and how they bring me back to childhood. And night blooming jasmine and honeysuckle, if you aren't familiar with both and you don't have a sensitive sense of smell necessarily, they're going to smell really, really similar. So if night blooming jasmine or honeysuckle is a scent that you love, you'd love this soap. Another one I have that has a similar to me fragrance is my I Dream of Mermaids. It has a scent called Hawaiian Mist from Nature's Garden. And to me, it also has hints of this because it's got jasmine and plumeria in it. And it's just one of those scents that I thought I was going to hate because normally it's because of what it was called. I thought it was going to be one of those oceany scents, which I don't tend to like. But it really turned out to be a really good mix of that sea breeze kind of smell, but also with that really beautiful jasmine scent. So anyway, that's my spiel on scents. But I know I can't always just make what I like. I'm in a business. I'm trying to make a go of it as a professional soap maker. I guess I technically am a professional soap maker. I have a business. I've been making money doing it, but I really want to make a living doing it. And so I have to worry about marketability, but that doesn't mean I can't have fun with it. And this was me certainly having fun with a soap, even though at the time I think I probably would have told you it was not a fun soap to make and I was panicking. And I was doing here, what I did was I was practicing a technique. I wanted to put a soap mold in these little soaps. It didn't turn out how I wanted, but that was me using the extra little bit of soap that I had. But I use that mold for little samples and hand soaps, and I was trying to put a little cat embed in it to see if that would be something I could do. Because I work with a local cat cafe and make cat designed soaps for them. So Anyway, I was hoping to have like another little smaller price point of a soap, but it didn't work the way I wanted. I might play with it some more in the future, but that's what I was trying to do there. And so I was using my little bit of leftover soap to practice that technique. So this is that newly designed honeysuckle swirl that I'll probably redesign yet again because I want the colors to be a little brighter and I want to make sure I get that swirl the way I wanted. But I'm going to tap it down, get all those bubbles out, and then slip it into my wooden frame so it won't bow out. But the best part about this is you're going to get to see the cut really quickly. I had to wait 24 hours to find out if that disaster of a soap worked or not. And here it is. Now, as always, when I'm cutting a soap, I have a moment of panic. I worry that I'm going to cut it crooked or something. So I love that I got this cutter. But that top, look at that. And you can see there, that yellow is that orange that I put in there. And that orange that you see on top is the King Tut. So that color morphs. I've used it before. I'm trying to think what soap that was in. I'll put a link to that video if I have it. But it starts out as orange. And it morphs into this gorgeous lemony cupcake yellow, and I love it. But again, like I said, I think I would go a little bit brighter with these colors because it just turned out a little more muted than I like to do. I don't know. You'll have to tell me in the comments what you think. Like, is the color bright enough for you, or would you want me to go a little darker with it? All right, so here's the cut. As always, I'm really nervous about it. So I go really slow, probably slower than I need to. Although that's a good thing. I'll tell you why in a second. But here is how, oh, see, I don't even show you the soap. I got to remember to show the camera everything. Now look at how gorgeous that turned out. Now you see those little flecks of yellow in there? That's where I stirred it by hand and it helped the soap to get down in there. I should have done more of that. But you'll see, you know, those colors came out really, really pretty. I can't complain. The yellow, I think, is right where I want it to be. I may change that gold to something else, maybe a pink or something. I don't know. But I have a little bit of like bubbling, some glycerin rivering going on in there. But overall, it's a really good soap. And I'm, messing with it. But look at that. I mean, that is stunning the way that turned out where I stuck my spatula in there. I thought I was ruining it. Turned out great. So, you never know. But yeah, so me going slow with the, I love it. I love how that yellow goes in there. Looks like brain matter or something. I probably shouldn't say that. But going really slow when cutting. So I really screwed up a soap the other day. I think it was a little lye heavy. And so it turned out rock hard and crumbly. And I'm trying to cut it and I can't figure out why it won't go through when I was going really slow. And I'm glad I did because I probably would have broken some of the wires on my cutter. Oh, man. I'm just so, looking at this again, because I've boxed these up since they're ready to go, which, by the way, if you want to buy them, they are on my website, which is thegildedbubble.com. But I haven't seen them since I boxed them up, and I just forgot how pretty they actually did turn out. Like, those colors look better than I remember, so maybe I won't change it. I don't know. That's funny when you see things in person and you see them on film, and you're like, wow, actually, I really kind of like that. I don't know. It reminds me of honeysuckle. It's just got those colors to it that just look like blooming, flowers. Things that butterflies and birds and hummingbirds want to pollinate, But isn't that beautiful? I just love it. I can't even. I always say that. I'm like, I can't even. And that was my little end piece, which I have for a sample. So if you order, you might get that sample too. And the best part is yet to come because now you get to see the final cleanup and photography and all that jazz, and it's going to be gorgeous. Wait until you see this one. As always, don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe. I'm trying to post videos of my soap making every Saturday, and let me know if you want to see a tour of my soap studio. And thanks for watching.